Here we go. More money on his head. 5 billion CFA. Offered to Burkinabe soldiers to overthrow Ibrahim.
Once again, Burkina Faso is under threat. Their president has been attacked, and saving him was nothing less than a miracle. This is the harsh reality that unfolded in Burkina Faso on November 8, 2024. The setting: Ouagadougou, the capital city of a nation already facing a multitude of threats, both internal and external. In a carefully orchestrated operation, Burkina Faso security forces managed to thwart a covert plot that had the potential to destabilize the entire country. The central figure in this story? A mysterious individual who arrived in the capital under the pretense of a legitimate business visit. But hidden beneath this was a far more sinister agenda. The man came not with promises of investment or cooperation, but with a suitcase filled with 5 billion CFA francs, an eye-watering sum that could change the fate of entire communities. But why was this money brought into Burkina Faso? And who was behind this audacious plan? The answers lie in a complex web of deceit, manipulation, and betrayal. But were they successful? Let's find out. In today's deep dive, we will peel back the layers of this shocking story to uncover the truth behind the plot. We will explore who was the mysterious figure carrying the massive sum of money, and what drove him to take such a significant risk. How Burkina Faso's loyal soldiers played a high-stakes game to expose the plot and protect their nation. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this story is about more than just a suitcase of cash. It's a testament to the strength, unity, and resilience of the people of Burkina Faso. The story begins with the arrival of a man shrouded in secrecy. He stepped off a plane in Ouagadougou, dressed impeccably in a business suit, projecting the air of a foreign investor ready to inject capital into the country's infrastructure projects. But this was merely a facade, a well-crafted disguise that masked his true intentions. The man carried with him a suitcase containing 5 billion CFA francs. This sum wasn't meant for development projects, nor was it intended to support charitable causes. Instead, this substantial amount of money was allegedly earmarked for something far more nefarious: bribing soldiers to turn against their own government and sowing chaos within Burkina Faso. So, who was this man? And why did he believe that a suitcase filled with cash would be enough to topple a nation?
Man offers Burkina Faso soldiers $8 million to overthrow government. The Burkinabe Defense and Security Forces have foiled an attempt to topple the military junta with an offer of $8.17 million.
According to confidential sources, this individual had ties to powerful foreign entities with vested interests in destabilizing the region. For these shadowy backers, Burkina Faso represents a critical geostrategic point in West Africa, rich in resources like gold and minerals, and positioned in a region rife with conflict and political instability. The plan was deceptively simple on the surface: approach disillusioned soldiers, offer them enough money to secure their loyalty, and ignite a chain reaction that would destabilize the country. The timing of this plot was no accident. Burkina Faso, after years of battling extremist groups and political unrest, had recently made strides toward stability. The country's efforts to strengthen its borders and foster economic growth were beginning to bear fruit. But with progress comes new challenges, and for some, stability in Burkina Faso is seen as a threat to their interests. The suspect was confident that his plan would work. After all, it's a tale as old as time. Use money to buy loyalty, especially in a region where soldiers are often underpaid and overworked. The man believed he had found the perfect opportunity to exploit the country's vulnerabilities. He was convinced that a few million francs could turn soldiers into mercenaries for hire. But this time, he was wrong. From the moment he made contact with his supposed allies within the military, things began to unravel. What the suspect didn't realize was that these soldiers were not as easily swayed as he had hoped. The men he approached were not just ordinary recruits. They were veterans, men who had dedicated their lives to defending Burkina Faso against both internal and external threats. They had fought insurgents, faced down extremist groups, and survived some of the harshest conditions imaginable. Their loyalty to their nation was unwavering. As soon as the suspect made his first overture, offering large sums of money in exchange for loyalty, the soldiers knew something was off. But rather than rejecting the offer outright and risking exposure, they decided to play along. They knew they were dealing with someone who had significant backing and resources. The question was, who was pulling the strings behind the scenes? Instead of turning the man away, the soldiers played a dangerous game of deception. They reported everything to their superiors, who, in turn, alerted the national